Hey guys, I got a special video here. This is a lecture transcribed by Neville Goddard where he gets into where Richard Feynman, the professor of physics, he won the Nobel Prize on the discovery of the positron, which actually supports Neville's formulas and his techniques on creating the future, and his imaginal acts and the way that he describes his formulas. It matches right up with the positron as actually being the truth and actually something that's proven to work. And I wanted to share this story with you here. In 1949, I was in Milwaukee and gave a series of lectures on the Bible. A man who was the head of the chemical department of Alice Chalmers attended my lectures. One evening he said, "Neville, I can't quite go along with you because as a chemist, it is in conflict with my training. You tell me you can go forward in time, that you can move backwards in time, that all things are and everything is now, this very moment. Yet you are telling me you can make things change, and it is in conflict with my training. We have a law known as entropy. Entropy means that the past is fixed and unalterable. You cannot change it. If the past can be changed, it throws everything out of kilter in my lab. I must know that the past is unalterable, like braiding a lady's hair. The braided part, that's fixed. The rest is future, not yet braided. We are waiting to see how it will develop from the braided part because that is completely fixed and unalterable. Now you tell me it is not, that the whole vast world exists now, past, present, and future, that you can go into sections of time, in a world that is finished. Well, I can't go along with that." Here's Neville. "It's perfectly all right. I am not a chemist. I am not a scientist, so I can't argue the point. I only know my visions, and I teach vision, as I have experienced it. I can go into these places and the past has not yet passed away. I am quite sure one could go back and revise that past and change it. I know I can go forward into the future, set up and walk across a bridge of incident to the point in time where I entered that state. And it takes on the color and tone and the reality I assumed it to be." Here is when he goes into the Richard Feynman and the positron. "In the month of November, he sent me the science newsletter dated October 15th, which contained an article about the positron written by Richard Feynman, professor of physics at Cornell University. 20 years later, they granted him the Nobel Prize in Physics for that paper. And if I can quote it, this is it. The positron is a wrong-way electron. It is wrong-way in every sense of the word. It moves backwards in time. It moves to where it hasn't been and speeds to where it was an instant ago. Arriving there, it is bounced so hard its time sense is reversed, and it moves back to where it hasn't been." I'm going to read that one more time, guys. "The positron is a wrong-way electron. It is wrong-way in every sense of the word. It moves backwards in time. It moves to where it hasn't been and speeds to where it was an instant ago. Arriving there, it is bounced so hard its time sense is reversed, and it moves back to where it hasn't been." Now that is not Neville speaking, that is Professor Feynman, and for that, he got the Nobel Prize last year. He said it does not only backwards in that sense, but even its charge is backwards. It's a positron, it's positive and not negative, yet it is an electron. When they first had this theory as a theory, they did not want to admit it, but it fitted in with Einstein's theory mathematically. So they had to accept it, but no one had ever photographed it. Then someone came who photographed it in their studies of the cosmic rays. It seemed as though two were developed at a certain point, but it wasn't. The one coming back was the positron and should, if bounced, be deflected and continue on its deflected course. On the other hand, it is bounced so hard, it is not deflected, it's reversed and moves forward in a normal manner to where it hasn't been. I told him I could sit at home and go into a section of time. For instance, this is now April. I put myself in December, and I see the stores all dressed up for Christmas. I hear the music of Christmas, all the carols. I walk through Saks Fifth Avenue in New York City and feel all I would feel if it were true that this month was the month of Christmas. Then when I feel it is Christmas, I feel that things are as I desire them to be in the month of April. Then I open my eyes and bounce back and shock myself because it seems so real to me that when I came back and opened my eyes upon April, I thought I was kidding myself. No, I wasn't kidding myself. For when I went forward in time, quite normally, Waiting out the days, the months, to the month of December, things happened as I assumed they would when I went forward and predetermined what would happen.